Good morning, everybody. It's William. Welcome to Junie Lee's Adventures. We're here on a Sunday morning, and we just thought we was going to make a vlog really quick, not long, about a couple things. I've been actually living here now in the Philippines about 9 months, and Junie Lee and I are engaged. We've known each other for 4 years. We've been in our relationship, and it's just a couple things that we thought we'd want to go over for those that are planning to come over, those that are planning to vacation. Couple things that we thought we'd make you aware of. We'll be right back with that. Hello everybody, it's William and we're back with our vlog here at Junie Lee's Adventures. Say hi, Junie Lee.
Hi.
It's good to see everybody again. We appreciate all our subscribers, those that have texted us and asked us questions, those that have given us encouragement about continuing with the channel, Junie Lee's channel. We just thought we'd make a quick vlog today about, I had a question that one of our subscribers asked us, and that was about coming over and getting a job and working when he's here. He liked what he saw in the vlogs. So we thought that we would just go over a couple things. I've been here for about 8-9 months now, actually living here in the Philippines. I've been over here to visit 2-3 times before that. And I would advise any of our followers that are in the West that are planning to come over and visit, come on over. They're making it much easier for tourism. Even if you're unvaccinated, you can still come here. You just really need a COVID test and go through a couple other little protocols, so to speak, but it's very easy. Save your money. You know, the plane tickets are a little bit expensive, but the price is going down. But the subscriber had asked us about working, and one thing I wanted to let you guys know, that if you're planning to come over here and live for any extended amount of time, we as foreigners or tourists here in the Philippines, we really can't work. We don't get jobs. It doesn't matter what your skill set is. We're not allowed to work here, not on tourist visas. And we get tourist visa upon entrance here, and I think they've changed it to 59 days upon entry into the country, I believe. And then you can extend it at any immigration's office from there, up to 3 years. And that's 36 months. And at the end of that, before the 3 years is over, the 36 months, you have to do what they call a visa run. And that is leave the country for at least 24 hours, I believe it is, and then come back. But I would tell you that I've been here, and since I've been here, I've enjoyed the country. We've traveled to quite a few places. I've seen quite a few things. Of course, with Junie Lee's help, she knows the country very well. So yes, as I was saying, guys, it does make a difference if you have been in a long-term relationship or LDR, and you've been talking to your Filipina for quite a while, and you're planning to come over to the Philippines. Now's a good time to come. It's near the end of June. It's what they would call the rainy season. Remember, it doesn't rain all the time in the rainy season. You're still going to get half the month of nice days, and you can still go, you know, island hopping and go around. You just have to be aware of the rains. The typhoon season is also that. But there, as in Florida, there's not a typhoon every day, and there's not a typhoon every week. So there's still plenty good days. So the rainy season is just that. Doesn't mean it's raining all the time. If in all reality, it's actually better to come, I think, my opinion is, and visit now because it's cooler out. Instead of being in the high 90s, it's probably in the lower or mid 80s. If you think that's a break, which it is really a break after being in the 90s to be in the 80s. So remember, if you have a monthly income of any kind, I'm not going to say how much. A lot of vlogs say, well, you got to make this much or you got to make that much. But you do need to have a monthly income. If you're coming here to live, you need to have a monthly income. You need to have, unless you're working online. Don't expect that you would get a job here, because any jobs available are for the Filipinos first. I haven't seen any foreigners, unless they own a bar or they own a business and are paying taxes and they have a different kind of visa, that are working here. But if you're just coming to visit, all you really need to do is bring enough money to enjoy your 2 weeks or your 3 weeks or whatever amount of time it is that you spend here, or a month, or 2 months, I believe that they're starting to give you now, if you have money. And relationships, guys, just to touch on that for a minute. I mean, after 8 months, 9 months of living with my fiance, and we're planning on getting married sometime this year. We're not quite sure what month, but it will be this year. Relationships are the same everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter just because you're in the Philippines that you think everything's going to go perfect. You might have been talking to your LDR person on the phone, or in chats, and all those things. But in person, it's a totally different thing. Me and Junie Lee are compatible. We have built up a relationship since 2019 over the phone. Then we met in person 3 times, at least 3 times for a couple weeks at a time, maybe even a month at a time, before we actually began to plan a wedding. Before I gave her a ring and we got engaged, guys. The song says, if you want to keep, you should have put a ring on her. I did that. So we're planning on getting married. If you find the one you want, then that's your option. But remember, there is no perfect relationship, whether you're in the US, whether you're in Canada, Europe, or whether you're in the Philippines. So it's like any other relationship, you're going to work on it. Maybe your LDR doesn't have children, or maybe she does. Mine has a child, Natalie, and that relationship takes time to get to know. I mean, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, it takes time. And me and Natalie now have a relationship of our own, but I knew her since she was a baby. Since Junie Lee and I have been together for 4 years. Natalie's only 4 years old. So I knew her ever since she was able to start talking, which she talks a little bit too much now, actually.
More than to me.
We try to get her to talk. Now we can't stop her from talking, right? So, I mean, all those things are included in. But, if you come with an open heart and an open mind, remember, guys, we're in another country. This is not the U.S. You're going to be waiting in long lines. Most of the time we ride around in tricycles. It's hot. There's a lot of traffic. No matter, unless you're living in a province. We live in Lapu City, which is a small city. So there's a lot of traffic. You're going to wait in lines in the supermarket. If you're not used to waiting in lines, this is probably not the place for you. I mean, because one thing that you have to pack when you come to the Philippines is your patience. Pack your patience. If you're a patient person and you learn patience, and I'm learning it here, you'll be all right here. But the people are very friendly, very friendly. I haven't ran into anyone that was unfriendly. I really mean that. Never was I in a situation where I felt threatened. Many times I felt in situations in the U.S. where I felt uncomfortable, but not here. And I've been here off and on since 2019, and here for almost 9 months at this time. The beaches are beautiful. We've taken you around on our blogs to different beaches. We're planning on going to a place called Puerto Princesa, El Nido, Palawan, in the next few months, maybe 3 or 4 months. That's our plan, and we're going to take you guys along with us there. But we wanted to just say that if you're planning to come over on an extended vacation, at least 2 weeks, I mean, it's a 16-hour flight from JFK, New York, to get to Manila. And we're in Cebu. So then it's another hour flight here. But it's a 16-hour non-stop flight from JFK. If you're coming from the West Coast, I would guess you can get 2 flights. You can break that flight up into, layovers. I chose to come direct, 16-hour flight, guys. So unless you're used to being in a plane, that's the one thing that holds a lot of people back. Is not only just the price of the flight, but it's also the length of the flight. I would guess when the prices are back to normal, you could probably get a round trip ticket for $1,200 would be, I would guess, the standard round trip from New York. You might get a little cheaper, sometimes a little more. It all depends on when you come. That's when the prices go back down. I paid as much as $1,800 for a round trip ticket. And then, of course, if you don't live in New York, you got to go back to Philadelphia or wherever it is that you're coming from. But I would say that over in the Philippines, you get used to the food. A lot of things are made with sugar and salt, and a lot of the adobos. It tastes good. But those of us that if you got high blood pressure or you got any kind of diabetic things, which I got high blood pressure, I don't have diabetes. You have to watch what you eat, and you can do that. There's plenty places to walk. The doctors are good here. I went to get physicals and things. A lot of people say that healthcare is not good. It all depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for good healthcare, you can find it here. If you're planning on being an expat, you probably want to look into insurance. But if you're coming just to visit for 2-3 weeks, you can get one of the traveler's insurances, and that will cover you while you're here. It covers you lose your money. It'll cover you if you lose your belongings, if something happens, if you get sick. So it's a good idea. It probably only cost you about 5,000 pesos, which is about 100 US. Insurance. The cheapest thing that you're going to get here, the reason that you would save a lot of money would be on your rent. You can rent a condo here. I mean, a 4-star condo, for probably $200-300 US a month, which, remember, $100 here is called 5,000 pesos. So 5,000 pesos is $100. If you want to learn how do you understand the money, 1,000 pesos is 20 US dollars approximately, and that's how I always remember the money. But there is a lot of poverty here. There's a lot of poverty in the Philippines. So if you're making anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 a month in income in retirement or pension, you would be considered upper class. You're at the 3,000 range, you'd be considered rich. At the lower range of 1,500, you're still considered making 3 or 4 times what the average Filipino makes in a month. I mean, the average wages here that someone would get paid for a regular job working in a supermarket is not very much. It might be a couple $100 a month. So if you're coming over here with $1,500 to $3,000 a month, you have more than enough to get health insurance. You have more than enough to get a townhouse, a condo, rent a house, whatever you want to do. You could get a car. You could do whatever you want to do. A motorcycle probably costs. You could get a good used motorcycle for 1,000 US, 50,000 pesos Filipino. So it all depends on what your intentions are. If you're coming over as an expat, already start saving your money. You need to have an emergency fund, as all the vlogs have said. Whatever amount that is, 10,000 up, 5,000, 25,000 on up. Have that emergency fund in case you get sick. Have that in case of any things come up, and they will. Things happen. I've had to go to the doctors here. I've had to, get a diet, blood work done, and all those kind of things. That's what you have to do. So, outpatient is pretty affordable. What you would need the insurance for is inpatient. If something happened, you had a stroke, you had a heart attack. Those of us that are over 65, over 60, you want to have insurance for those kind of things. But if you're just planning to come and visit, then you just need traveler's insurance. But remember, guys, can't work here. You're not going to get a job here unless you've already contracted to teach English or something online. If you're working with an online job that you can work online from back in the States, that may be a different situation. That's out of my area of expertise. But I do know on a tourist visa what they let us come in to the country on. You cannot work. The tourist visa is for tourism. It's not a working visa. That would be a different kind of visa. There's Natalie. She's peeking in on the vlog. Say hi, Natalie.
Hi.
There she is. She's learned to talk real good. But we just wanted to make a quick vlog and let you guys know that, our relationship has gone along good. We've had our ups and downs as any other relationship, but I will say this: we have things in common, and like anywhere else, commonality and conversation. If you can communicate, and what I've always learned is to say when you're wrong. If you're wrong about something, say you're sorry. Don't let the sun. My mom used to always say, don't let the sun go down on you being angry with each other. Don't go to bed angry. If you have a disagreement, get that straightened out before you go to sleep, so that you can clear that out. And as long as you're able to forgive each other, it's going to be okay. You can make it if you have things in common, like music, what you like to do, because a lot of guys my age come over here and they get bored. Frankly, they're retired. They're used to working every day, like me. I have a military background. I was a pastor of a church. I'm always into evangelism still at this point now. And, you know, we get bored because we're go-getters. We're used to doing things all the time. Right, Natalie? So, you know, you have to channel what you want to do. You know, I like to go explore different islands. I like to take vacations, plan vacations. I like to walk. I like to listen to music. I read the Bible. I watch videos. I try to educate myself more on the Philippine culture. A lot of guys come over here just strictly because they have LDR, and all their eggs are in that basket of the woman. And if that doesn't work out, they figure that the Philippines didn't work. Let me tell you something, guys. The Philippine culture is a great culture. You could spend months and months just going around looking at the different cultures. Every island has its own culture. Everywhere you would go, it's different from island to island, the way the people, the way they interact with you. But at all the places, I thought that all the people were just as friendly and accommodating. You know, they accept foreigners here. They understand that that's part of their country's income, that foreigners come and spend money. And so they're very welcoming, no matter whether it's at a resort or you just going down the street. They're very helpful. If you know, you're lost or you don't know something, they're going to try their best through the language barrier to let you know what you need to do. And yes, this is an English-speaking country, but still there is a language barrier. A lot of times they don't understand what we're saying, and they don't want to lose face and let you know that they don't understand what you're saying. So, and a lot of times we don't understand what they're saying. They can most speak English, but some not very good, some better than others. Am I right, honey?
Yeah,
Some speak
right.
English better than others. And so a lot of times they'll act like they know what you're saying, but they have no idea you're talking Martian to them because they don't know what you're talking about or what we're talking about. So this is for any of our subscribers. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you giving us the thumbs up, guys, because that helps Junie Lee's channel. That helps our channel. We appreciate you, all those that have subscribed and followed us to the Beholds and to the places, even to the supermarket, and the little things that we like to do. Like riding on a tricycle here is an adventure. I mean, so anybody that wants to come over and visit, there's a lot of things that you're going to say, hey, I got a chance to do that. Even if you're not coming over here to live over here as I am, it's a great place to visit for all the beaches, all the things that it's a bucket list thing that you may never get to experience anywhere else in your life, especially for the price. So I'm not trying to say here as the Philippines is the end all be all. I mean, there's negatives to every country. A lot of times people say, well, all them vloggers get on the vlogs and they try to make the Philippines look like it's the perfect place. No, it's not for everybody. I mean, it's hot. You know, you have to get used to the heat. It's hot even on the hot days that it's not hot. It's hot. I mean, you could be sitting in traffic in a tricycle, that's a motorcycle with a little sidecar. And you could be sitting in that traffic for 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. You know, as I said, you just got to pack your patience. I catch a lot of cabs because I know that the cabs are they're expensive to, they may be expensive to Filipinos, but they're affordable to you, a foreigner. I mean, to go across to the city of Cebu City from here where we're at, I'm not quite sure how far that is.
Depends. The traffic.
It may be a 45-minute ride.
Yeah.
And
30 minutes.
in a cab, that may cost you, how much would a cab cost?
300 to 400 to going in Cebu.
300, 400 pesos. It's like $8, guys. $6 to $8. That's what it is. So remember, that may be expensive to a Filipino who's making $200 a month, but it's not to you. So you're not going to mind getting in a cab. Remember, the cab is air conditioned. So you're going to be waiting in traffic. You'd much rather be waiting in traffic in the air conditioned cab than you would in a tricycle that has no air condition and the sides are open. Yet, if you're riding around for, just in the local area, The tricycles they cost about $1 or $2 to take you anywhere in a couple mile radius, couple meter radius, as they call it over here, meters. I have to get used to meters instead of miles.
Meters.
So, but we just wanted to tell our subscribers that, because we get texts asking us about, can you work here? No, not on a tourist visa. You can't get a job and work here. If you're coming over to plan to retire over here, guys, you need to have a monthly income. I won't say the amount, but as much as possible, as much as your Social Security or your pension is, make sure you have emergency fund savings. Make sure you have money saved up. If you're coming to visit, you need a plane ticket and maybe $2,500, $3,000, as much as you can bring. But the first time that I came here, I brought $2,500. That was after my plane ticket. That was more than enough to go to the beach. That was more than enough for everything. Remember, I already had secured my place to stay. You can rent a condo for $200, $300 for the whole month. The whole month. And I'm talking about, guys, a gated condo with guards. Very safe, very secure. You won't have any problems here with security. There's guards, armed guards everywhere. If you're living in a gated community. We live in a subdivision here called Bayswater Subdivision. There's a guard at every gate. Even the cab drivers come in have to show their credentials even to get in here. And I would consider this to be a middle class development, a working class development. Some people that live here are very, very wealthy. Some people are like me that just have a monthly pension or a monthly Social Security, which would be considered upper middle class here. But in the US, that would be considered poverty level, but yet you're considered upper middle class here if you're making anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. At the higher end of that, you'd be considered rich. At the lower end of that, at $1,500, you're still considered wealthy to some people. Because remember, I said a lot of Filipinos at the high end make $500 a month. So if you're getting $1,500 a month and you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have any children, and you're coming here by yourself, that's more than enough. More than enough to live. If you have a fiance with a child like I got here, you might want a little more. Maybe you want to have 2,000, because you got to eat. Groceries are about the same here. The same money you spent for groceries there, you'll spend here. Your electric it all depends on how much you use air conditioning. The more that you get used to the heat, the less air conditioning you'll need, and you'll be able to use fans. I would say February, May, April, air conditioning's needed. June, July, August, September, you could use fans. You don't need air conditioner every hour. A lot of days it's overcast. So yeah, guys, we just wanted to come on and make a quick vlog and touch on some of our subscribers' concerns. But remember, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be letting you know everything that we find out. We'll be letting you know.
Yes.
We'll see you next time, guys, at Junie Lee's Adventures.
See you guys.